Well, my friends, welcome to Once Upon a Pipe. A little bit of Carter Hall in the old eBay Meerschaum. And it's been a while since I fired up some Carter Hall, but tonight seems to be a good night for it. And I think I'm going to enjoy it. Let's see if I can get a second light here. I'm liking it. That ought to go well. I was debating on whether or not I should do this particular video. Actually, the topic. I wanted to do a video, but the topic for tonight, I kind of hesitated to share. But the more I think about it, the more it bothered me, and so basically, I'm going to take this opportunity to vent. Well, so I try to be more positive and encouraging, but every now and then, I just need to get this stuff out of me, and I appreciate you guys being a good community for me to do that. Let me start. Here's what happened. If you saw my last video, I think it was the one where I was on my way back from the airport. I just completed my check ride. It was January the 24th on a Monday, a very gray, Kentucky gray Monday. Pretty exhausting day, and I was on my way home, and I just earned my private pilot certificate. Well, that gave me a little bit of freedom, and I decided earlier this week on Tuesday that I would exercise the privileges thereof as a private pilot and fly my wife to a restaurant where we could get a nice meal. You know, it's just kind of a thing that pilots do. You get your license and then you do what they call like $100 hamburger. You get with somebody and you fly someplace and you eat. My first destination that I chose was a place called Big Sandy Regional Airport. Now, that's more toward eastern Kentucky and Prestonsburg, Inez area, right next to the West Virginia border there. And I called the fella on the field and I asked about the Cloud 9 restaurant. Now, Cloud 9 is fairly well known amongst aviators here in this neck of the woods. It's a good on-field restaurant. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to fly my wife to this. So I flight plan it. I'm getting everything laid out, getting my checkpoints along the way. I'm printing my flight plan, and before, or I guess I'd been planning this like over the weekend. So on Tuesday, before I head that way, I called the guy and I asked what time his restaurant is going to be open. He says, "Well, we're going to be closing at 4 o'clock." I was like, "Wow, that is early, 4 o'clock." I said, "What is the latest time that I could get there and still be served?" He said, "Well, you have to get here by 3:30." There was no way I could leave Lexington, get the plane, pick up my wife, get the plane, and be in the air in time to get to Prestonsburg or Big Sandy Regional by 3:30. That was, it just wasn't going to happen. I asked him what the deal was. He said, "Well, We cannot find people to work. There are only two of us in the restaurant, and we have to close early. So, that being said, I started to look up another place, and I came across London Corbin, which is a little bit closer. It was 62 nautical miles, so not terribly far away in a little Cessna 172. Take us about, I don't know, 40 minutes or so to get there. And so I called London Corbin, talked to some guys there. It was about 11 o'clock on Tuesday, and told them about the big Sandy regional airport Cloud 9 there was going to be closing early, and I asked if their restaurant would be open. Well, the guy said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be open. The guy that runs it hadn't come in yet. He doesn't come in till 12, but it's a nice day, so he'll probably have it open by the time you get here." So I start flight planning my trip to go to London Corbin. Looks like everything is going pretty good. I pick up my wife. We go to the airport. I get the plane checked out, and before you know it, we are up in the air on our way to London. Uh, I land. I've got to get fuel. Fuel farm is shut down in Lexington, so I got some fuel there. And after I get the plane parked and chalked and everything, my wife and I start heading to the FBO, and we run into this fellow, and I say, "Hey, how do you get to the restaurant? And we need to go inside and come back out." He says, "Oh well, they're closed." I'm thinking, we just flew here from Lexington. This is like our this is like my maiden date here, and uh, and the restaurant is closed. So at this point, I'm really disappointed. It was a big letdown. I'd been looking forward to this, kind of hyped it up with my wife, and I was looking for just it to be the perfect date, everything to go right. Well, the guy is very kind. He says, "Look, if you want, we have a courtesy car, and you're welcome to use it, and we can point you to a local restaurant." So I say, "Sure, we're already here, so let's do that." And we end up taking the courtesy car to a local barbecue restaurant called Durham's Barbecue, and it was fantastic. Definitely would recommend it. We had a good meal. I got the brisket and some apple bourbon baked beans. That's right, apple bourbon baked beans. Wonderful. My wife and I eat, and we head back to the airport, return the courtesy car, and we fly back to Lexington. Had a gorgeous flight all the way around, beautiful sunset, nice smooth flight back into Lexington, and um, my wife and I were just kind of talking about it. We got what the guys told us there at the field is that restaurant, um, the owner has basically had to let the people working there go. He's been through two rotations or fired people twice because people are not showing up to work. Mm. I'm struggling with that, guys. I'm thinking in the United States of America, we can't keep simple restaurants open a full day because these guys can't find workers. What do you think about that, Dexter? Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I drive around town, I see tons of people out. I mean, there's not a population shortage. There is not a labor shortage, right? There is just a shortage of people who are willing to work and show up. Very, very frustrating problem. I don't know, guys. I don't know if it's like that where you are or not, but time after time after time, that's what I'm running into. And I got to tell you, it's not just those two restaurants. I called a couple other places. Same problem. Well, our restaurant's closed right now. We just don't have the staff. We can't find people to work. I mean, you know, these places are they're paying starting out $12 to $15 an hour, and nobody wants to show up to work. Dexter, that's not good. That is not good. So I don't know. I don't know, fellas. I yeah, like I say, I really like to be a little bit more on the positive side, and here's Dexpo right there, right, right. Hold on, right there, that, there he is, right there, that guy. But Dexter's kind of sick. He's coughing over here on me. It just doesn't make sense. I remember growing up, everybody wanted to work. That was like the big thing. Hey, what are you doing? Well, man, I'm going to work after school. If you had a job after school, that was like a status thing. It was a big deal. Everybody wanted to work. I mean, if it was flipping burgers, if it was at a car wash, if it was doing the lawn care service, as long as you were working, if you were, and back when I grew up, this county, Jessamine County, it was still rural and a lot of farm work. So even if you were out there on a farm, planting tobacco or harvesting tobacco, if you were working, that was great. Now, it's not happening. I don't think that that is a good sign for the United States of America. It's not good. And what's even more heartbreaking is the people that started these little small restaurants and places like that. You know, they depend on business to feed their families, and the city and the county and the state depend on those businesses for taxes and tax revenue off of these places. And when they're shutting down, when they're only open a few days a week and not even, you know, 4 to 6 hours a day, when they are open, it's just not good. Mm. That's my rant. I will say, my wife and I ended up having a fantastic flight. Everything worked out great. No issues with the plane. The weather was perfect. The sunset was gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful sunset. Um, yeah, guys, I appreciate you letting me vent, and I certainly hope you know things are a little better where you are. But yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem here. Well, I do look forward to seeing you next time here on Once Upon a Pipe. Hopefully, there will be something a little more encouraging. But again, I appreciate you letting me vent. And God bless you. And I look forward to seeing you here next time.